Hi everybody, welcome and welcome back. My name is Kimiko Sumi, and I'm here to do a video about how there's a lot of things that I still don't know about this world at almost 40 years old, and how I'm in an extremely late bloomer, and some things like me not knowing how to drive and not even knowing how to turn on an ignition and whatnot. So if you want to watch this video, if you want to hear the rest of what I have to say, please keep watching. So yeah, I'm out the car. I'm out of the car. Y'all, like I said earlier, I'm almost 40 years old and I do not know how to drive a car. I don't even know how to really turn it on. I don't know nothing about stuff like that. My brother and sister know how to drive. Of course, my parents know how to drive, but I was the one that never really learned. And in my family, my grandmother actually didn't learn how to drive until she was like, I think in her 40s, I believe. And a lot of people in my family don't know how to drive, or they won't drive too. But it's women. It's the women in our family, not the men. The men always take initiative because they're really strong black men. And, you know, a lot of my family are mixed on my side, my maternal side of the family, by the way. So I'm not going to solidly call them black. But we are black. We're black. You know, they're black. They act black. You know, whatnot. They may not exactly look like it all the time, but they are black men. And they are black women, regardless of what they're mixed with on my maternal side or paternal side. So basically, all of us, okay, most of us at least. But anyway, I just didn't get to learn a lot of stuff that people learn. I don't know a lot about a lot of stuff, like, for instance, when people was going to like homecoming, you know, the prom, you know, their formal high school graduation. I did graduate, and I actually did have a graduation party, but it was really small. And like I said, I was homeschooled, but for the duration of my high school years. But I did have a graduation party after that. I did get a Sweet 16 too, though, y'all. I did have that. It was Brazilian. It was from my SGI. The Soka Gakkai International, the members, they threw me a surprise Sweet 16 birthday that was like Brazilian inspired. It was very nice, you know, it was beautiful. I loved every minute of it. I still have pictures, and I will show them how I look like in the future. When I can find those pictures, I will show how I looked back then when I was like 15, 16. I don't have a lot of pictures of me as a teenager, but the ones that I do have, you can kind of tell that I was very shy, quiet, very reserved. I was not going to allow anybody to bully me, even though people would bully me. Once one bully would stop bullying me, somebody else would take their place, and then I would out-bully the bully. And I've done this throughout my life, okay? I've never let people punk me or bitch make me or nothing. But like I said, I'm getting back to, I never really learned how to drive. A lot of stuff that I really don't understand about this world, like insurance, gas, I don't know about that. It's a lot of stuff, you know. I don't have a lot of like a long-standing job history, even though I've had a lot of jobs, more than probably the average person, but I haven't been able to keep them as long as most people, because a lot of people would want to disenfranchise me. They would get me fired. They would try to, you know, and a lot of the time I would have social anxiety back in the day, and it would scare me away from working. But I would still be disciplined, you know, I would still be disciplined. I would still come to work on time and stuff like that. But, you know, my mental illness has gotten in the way of a lot of job opportunities too. Even though I still try to this day, like I try to be independent to this day. I don't feel like it's a pass. Just because I'm Nefertiti doesn't mean that I get a pass to not work. No. In this day and time, at least, that doesn't give me a pass, because I am a queen or a goddess, that a lot of people will say, and it is actually true that I literally am a goddess, but I don't get a pass to not work. I probably got to put more effort than most people have to put into it, just because of probably who I am, to show other people the right way, that with the greatest cars that y'all got, y'all can make a lot out of, you know, the circumstances that y'all have. If I can make something out of nothing, y'all can definitely turn y'all pain into power. This is just to show y'all that even though I have a lot of limitations in my life, mental illness, different things like that, and I still can try at life with y'all good cards, y'all can make a lot of things be possible, okay? And I'm not mad or really I hold grudges, don't get me wrong. I have been holding grudges and stuff. But I still want to see people that ain't done me wrong make it. Like I don't want to hold other people back, even though that they wanted to hold me back. Apparently, evidently, a lot of people, even my own people, which it never was really black men, but it would a lot of the times it would be black women who would disenfranchise me on jobs and different opportunities. And I just could never understand. Like you, my sister, if anybody should be trying to give me work, it should be you. You passing me up and giving somebody of another race of woman work. And we all know who this particular race in particular that they give more grace to. Okay? And I'm like, you know damn well I'm your sister. I feel like on that scene with Frankie on Set It Off, where that sister who was a police officer, wouldn't help her sister out. And then Frankie was like, you didn't even ask me if I was thirsty, sister. That's what she said to that woman. Being a coon. It's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. It's sad, unfortunately. That I didn't even understand until now that there are a lot of people that do have a crab in the bucket mentality. They do. It's sad. They don't want to see other black people get up. They don't want to help out their fellow sister or brother. It's sad. It's pitiful. But I will say that most of the time, it has not been black men who have denied, and nobody else. It's mainly been black women. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. Most of the time it has been black women who have denied me jobs. A lot of the time I feel like because they thought they were better than me, they thought that I was just weird and I wasn't good enough. I wasn't a part of the sisterhood because my name is Kimiko Sumi. It didn't matter how I was presented that day or whatever, even if it was just, because I would always come to job interviews polished and clean. And those were the worst times I ever had with jobs was when I looked very unambiguous, like if I wasn't wearing makeup and stuff. It seemed like that's when black women would give me the hardest time. And I've never gotten hired by a black woman on a job. And I'm not trying to make this into a black woman thing, because most people have been bullies towards me anyway. Most people are just not very good people, period, across the board. Mostly. I'm not on nobody's side. I'm not a pick-me for nobody. In a way, I am a pick-me for everybody, but I'm also not for everybody simultaneously. I'm for everybody, but I'm also against everybody too equally, okay? And I'm for people from a safe distance, okay? That's why I do not talk to people offline no more. I don't. I come online and, if it does help out people that are genuine offline that I just I just so happen to walk past but don't know if they're nice or not. If my advice online helps them, then that's wonderful. And if it helps people who are just evil that I've met in my life offline, then hopefully it can help them change their ways and see how evil and mean and just uncalled for, rude, and how uncalled for it was towards me and to people that didn't even deserve to be mean towards, you know what I'm saying? But it goes for anybody, not just black women, not just black men, not just white women, not just white men, not just anybody, Hispanics, whatever, Asian people. People across the board mostly are mean anyway. They're mean. They're very mean. But I do notice that they're very more mean to me than usual. Like, they're very mean to me. And I keep at a distance from them. And I will say that people online are at least more nicer. They're more likely to respect my distance online than in person. Offline, they it's like, I need access to you. I must. And in a way, I kind of think that they don't want to support me online, probably because they want to keep the access to me in their own way. I don't know. Because basically, y'all, the people offline are the people online too. I like to believe in this fantasy, but, reality is that the people offline are the people online too, but they are not the ones that are usually the ones that I like to watch, though. I like to watch talented people who are also offline too. But the people that I get into it with offline, they're not usually talented unless you calling people names talent, okay? Because other than that, they're boring. They just have no special qualities. like the ones that I would actually watch online. And I'm not saying that they're good people online, but at least they got talent. At least they're entertaining. You know what I'm saying? They're not just, even if they kind of mean on their video, at least they got, they got tact. They know when and where to say things. It don't be out of place. It don't be uncalled for a lot of the times. The people I watch, at least, because I don't watch people who gossip about folks and put people down for no reason. No more. I don't watch this shit no more because this shit is low vibrational. I don't have time to be sitting up there watching somebody talk about celebrities and shit like that. If anything, I much rather see people talk about regular everyday people. I ain't gonna lie. It's more interesting to see people call out real no good motherfuckers in everyday life, okay, than talk about celebrities. Because to me, they really don't have a lot of news or drama, because they have to be perfect, so they're gonna keep most of their life private. I'm not saying they're not entertaining, because of course they're entertainers, like their actual work is entertaining, but the shit that these gossipers be talking about, like the downfalls of celebrity, that shit don't be no juicy gossip. Talk about your everyday people in your everyday life. Put them on blast, because they got the most interesting bullshit going on with them, if you ask me. Okay, now celebrities, like I said, they're entertaining as far as their work, but their personal life is pretty much private. Usually, what can you really get from that? Focus on these everyday average motherfuckers that's always keeping up shit. Okay, your neighbor, your own damn life. Okay, that's more interesting as far as a personal life. Okay, they always want, but anyway, I'm just going back to the fact that there's a lot of shit that I don't know. At almost fucking 40 years old, I am an extremely late bloomer, y'all, okay? Who really wants to bloom and become an independent adult. Like, I'm too old for this shit. I don't even mind taking the bus and stuff, because I like to be independent. I'm hyper independent. In my own soul, my soul wants to evolve, okay? My soul wants to grow up. My soul wants to get even older and grow, okay, and evolve. I don't want to be stuck having people taking care of me and shit like that for the rest of my life. Not saying that it's a absolute bad thing, but I want to actually make my own imprint in this world alone. Yeah, that's an accomplishment, me being Nefertiti, but what about in this lifetime? I can't just hold on to, what is it called? Accomplishments from way back. Yeah, it's major, because people still talk about it to this day, thousands of years later. But what have I done in this lifetime? What real imprint have I made on this world in this lifetime? I'm way far behind than most people. And I'm not really comparing myself to other people. I'm just saying that it's just a lot that I don't know, that I really realize and think about. That even in that Erykah Badu song, Window Seat, there's so many, no, that was Erykah Badu, Didn't You Know? There's still so many things I still don't know, and that's true. It's true. Like, you would think that, I don't know really about having my own apartment outside of government assistance and stuff. I don't know what it's like. I see people online, I'd be so happy for them and rooting for them, by default, if I don't know them, if I haven't, I don't know them, so I'm like, oh wow, that's amazing. Like my brother and sister, I'm amazed by them. My own parents, like, you able, excuse me, y'all, because I don't want to say that, because I'm not going to disrespect my parents. That was a mistake, but I'm like, dang, you were able to make this happen in your life. Why couldn't I do it? Why can't I do it? What's wrong with me? What is wrong with me? I got mental illness, but my parents have a mental illness too, y'all, by the way. But I think a lot of y'all might know that if you've been watching my channel. But I'm like, they've been able to make things happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow. I'm still trying to figure out how to navigate this world as a almost 40-year-old woman. And I feel like I'm being laughed at, like sabotaged intentionally. No, we're gonna hold you back, and everybody else. Everybody else can get in the club. You're gonna be held out here. No. And then because I've been more content about it lately, it seems like they're getting mad because I'm not jealous, as if they haven't been stopping me or holding me back from these things intentionally. It's not like I've had a fair fight, really. I mean, I do, but I don't. And I use my Buddhist practice to get ahead. It's like people don't like the fact that I'm becoming enlightened and I'm not, and part of purifying my karma is to not be so, caught up in superficiality. Like, I am kind of superficial, don't get me wrong. People might even want to call me a narcissist, but I don't really care if they think that. But, I'm not so superficial to where I'm always comparing myself to somebody else, because that's their stuff. That's their lane, okay? I'm not focused on other people. I'm not in competition with somebody else because I'm so different. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm really an individual. Nobody can be nothing really like me. Nobody could ever. I'm different from a lot of people. I'm very eccentric. I know that I'm different. I'm a different type of person, okay? I was brought up way more different than most people. Even my brother and sister, they've never experienced homelessness. They've never. My brother and sister would never know that life, and I don't want it for them. I don't want it for my niece or nephews. I don't even want it for their spouses. I don't want that for my family at all. And I don't want that for nobody that has been trying to do the right thing. Do I want it for my enemies, the people who like to fuck over people for no reason? Absolutely. I want them to see how it feels to be, lacking in life, so they can see how it feels when people hold them back from opportunities, but it will actually be rightfully their karma, okay? Because even my mama said, you know what? A lot of this stuff is not your karma, Kimiko. This is just stuff that's actually deliberate in a way, because usually she doesn't, excuse my, conspiracy theories. Usually she tries to rationalize with me about my conspiracy theories, but that's the one time it seemed like she actually admitted it. She was like, you know what? All of this ain't karma, Kimiko. This is not just karma. You be thinking because back then when you were mean that this is still karma from them. No. This is like other stuff. This is way too much. This is overkill at this point. This is people that I really do think that they've been really putting like sabotage attempts and spell work and stuff, and it's gonna go right back to them, the sender, from now on. It's gonna bounce off of me and people that ain't bothering them, especially my family members. Don't mess with my family, because it's gonna definitely go right back to the sender if you mess with us, any of us, and just people who just want to do right, okay? And I use focused prayer, okay? But anyway, y'all, I am going to end this video now. And I hope you like, comment, subscribe, share my video, hit the notification bell if you like. And I will see y'all in another video, my lotus flowers. And for my upcoming lotus flowers, welcome to my channel. And I will see you in another one. Peace. I'm out. Bye-bye.